Welcome everybody to Canadian Yorker here, and I am here to talk to you regarding another update video. Regarding this is part two for Mike Perry's update, and in this video, I'm going to be continuing to talk regarding Mike Perry and what's been going on with him. So there are a few articles here that we're going to be going over in regard to that. In my previous video, I did articles about Mike Perry and Conor McGregor's situation. Conor McGregor had fired him, quote unquote, fired him from BKFC, but he fired back, said that Conor McGregor can't fire him. So just going back to September, back to 2024, there's drama surrounding what happened with the aftermath with Jake Paul and Mike Perry. Let's just get into what happened in September 2024. So this article was written on MMAfighting.com. This was written to September 20th, 2024. And in the article, the title says, Mike Perry expected to return to BKFC at first event in Philadelphia. So continuing, it says here, Mike Perry is nearing his return to bare knuckle fighting. Following a brief crossover to boxing for a showdown against Jake Paul back in July, Mike Perry is being targeted for his next fight in BKFC at the promotion's first event in Philadelphia in December. Pennsylvania just recently sanctioned bare knuckle fighting, and BKFC President David Feldman is wasting no time bringing an event to his home state. David Feldman said, quote, "It was like a kid in a candy store." He told MMA Fighting after getting word that Pennsylvania was sanctioning bare knuckle fighting. He also said, quote, "It was like I get to do this in my home state. We're targeting a mid-December date for our first show. Huge show in a huge arena." And Dave Feldman said also, "It's going to be great. Mike Perry and we're talking to Eddie Alvarez about coming back for another fight. It'll be super stacked card. But we actually have some really good professional boxers that have been hitting us up. It's going to be stacked. There's no doubt we'll sell every single seat in the biggest arena in Philly. No doubt in my mind." Continuing, the article says here, Mike Perry last appeared in BKFC back in April when he dispatched UFC veteran Thiago Alves in just 60 seconds to move his bare knuckle record to 5-0. He didn't have as much luck going against Paul in the boxing ring, with Perry suffering a 6-round TKO loss, but now he's returning to BKFC, where he's arguably become the face of the entire promotion. David Feldman says he couldn't imagine a better fit than bringing Mike Perry back to Philadelphia while teasing another big-named opponent for the upcoming fight. David Feldman, "I'm working on Mike Perry's next opponent. If I tie that up, I think everybody's going to be like, oh man, really? How did you do that? It's going to be amazing. I'm targeting to be the biggest card we've ever done as the homecoming. Everyone's excited about it." David Feldman also said, continuing, Philadelphia is a working class city. Mike Perry is a working class guy. He'll fit in very well with the fans there. He's that kind of guy. We'll get Conor McGregor to come to the event and just take it over the top. It's really going to be unbelievable. Of course, Conor McGregor became part owner of BKFC back in April, and he's made several appearances at recent events while drawing interest to the bare knuckle fights. The date for the Philadelphia card is currently targeted for either December 13th or December 14th, and Feldman has another surprise in mind with a big football game taking place that same weekend. David Feldman said, quote, we're targeting the weekend where the Eagles are playing the Pittsburgh Steelers," David Feldman said. "So we're going to do some Pittsburgh versus Philly guys on the card too. That's going to be great." David Feldman said, also, "The show is going to be sick. It's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be the biggest moment of my professional career. Absolutely. That will be unbelievable." So there's the article from September 20th, talking about David Feldman doing the promotions for bare knuckle fighting championship, and Mike Perry is definitely expected to return in around that time. So the article that is from bjpenn.com. It's written on December 10th to 24. Calls for KFC showdown with former UFC champion Robbie Lawler. And this article was written on December 20th, 2024. So BKFC icon Mike Perry has called for a potential showdown with Robbie Lawler for his proposed return to the ring. Well, over the course of the last few years, Mike Perry has carved out quite the career for himself. Following on from his run with the Ultimate Fighting Championship, he decided to make his way over to the world of bare knuckle fighting. In doing so, he became a superstar. From there, he opted to jump in on short notice and compete against Jake Paul in the boxing ring. It didn't quite go his way, and ever since then, his relationship with BKFC has been a bit rocky as a result of his apparent feud with Conor McGregor. Now, at a recent event, Mike opted to call out none other than the former UFC sensation Robbie Lawler. So Mike Perry said, quote, "Who should face me next? I see Robbie Lawler in the crowd, and I think he should take the gloves off, and he should step inside the square circle against Platinum Mike Perry." So continuing, he said, Robbie Lawler is currently enjoying retirement after riding off into the sunset following a knockout win in his final fight. Of course, BKFC has been known to draw fighters out of retirement in the past, and it would be pretty interesting to see how these two can match up with one another in that kind of environment. Then again, the same is true for Mike Perry against pretty much anybody at this point. But do you believe the first step will be Mike Perry in his combat sports career? Do you feel that he will ever compete in the UFC again? Let us know your thoughts on this, BJ Penn Nation. So that's the article written on bjpenn.com in December 23rd, 2024, about a couple of months ago. Continuing, there's a follow-up article just last month in January 4th, Mike Perry, there's more updates here. It says here, this article is from bloodyelbow.com. Mike Perry's BFC comeback date revealed after ex-UFC star feared he'd really been fired for Jake Paul loss. So it says here, BKFC President David Feldman has provided an update on the status of Mike Perry's future under the BKFC banner. Mike Perry's extremely impressive run in BKFC came to a screeching halt midway through 2024 when he was cherry-picked by internet sensation turned boxer Jake Paul at a fight, and then he lost to Jake Paul on July 20th. So continuing, that he was knocked out in the 6th round. It says continuing, lost to Jake Paul, the BKFC owner, co-owner Conor McGregor, announced that Mike Perry had been first performance in the boxing ring that came after an incredible run with the power of the gloves off. We saw him pick off 5 wins in a row against the likes of Michael Venom Page, Luke Rockhold, and Eddie Alvarez, becoming BKFC's biggest star. So although the notorious technically does have the power to make decisions in the promotion, it is unknown whether Perry's firing was actually real. As for the remainder of 2024, he didn't fight again under the BKFC banner. And with that, the former UFC star recently admitted that he is actually fearful that his BKFC removal is real. Mike Perry said, quote, "I guess Conor really did fire me. Where's his fight at?" And Mike Perry questioned in a recent episode of his podcast. So, continuing, says here, whilst inactive from BKFC ring, Mike Perry launched a promotion of his own, Jody Boxing Championship, and he hosted his inaugural event behind closed doors this past November. as Yoel Romero won in the main event. Platinum Mike Perry was in attendance at BKFC's show in South Florida this past December, and he even hopped into the ring and called for a fight against former UFC champion Robbie Lawler, who was in attendance. But now, the BKFC president David Feldman has provided a positive update on Mike Perry's future in the promotion and has claimed a fight against Lawler could be possible. Continuing, David Feldman said it's a possibility. The UFC has to go along with that. There's a possibility for that and a few other things. It looks like March for Mike he's definitely coming back. We talked a little bit about it at the fight. David Feldman said at MMA Fighting. Continuing, says here, David Feldman says, quote, "There's a lot of different options out there for Mike Perry. There's in-house BKFC guys. David Mundell on Austin Trout wants to fight him. There's a lot of different guys that want to fight him. Mike Perry certainly is still with BKFC. He's got fired for a couple of minutes, but didn't really get fired. Ruthless Bobby Lawler announced his retirement in UFC in an impressive win at UFC 290, but the fans are hopeful that the former welterweight champion will make his transition to BKFC to fight Mike Perry from January 4th, 2024 in regards to Mike Perry. There's another article, just one more article here. Mike Perry claims Conor McGregor fired him from BKFC. It's written from lowkickmma.com. It says here, Mike Perry, a fan favorite bare knuckle boxer and former UFC fighter, recently sparked controversy about claiming Conor McGregor fired him from BKFC. The revelation came during an episode of Overdog's podcast, where Perry expressed frustration over his inactive status and lack of communication from promotion. So the 32-year-old has last competed in BKFC Knucklemania 4 in April 2024, securing a dominant first-round knockout over Thiago Alves. However, Mike Perry has yet to return to action since that fight, raising questions about his future with the organization. I guess that's what we just read. So he wants somebody to tell him something and to explain to him what's happening. That's what Mike Perry wants him to do. I'm just paraphrasing it. Because the article continues, Mike Perry, who also addressed speculation that his independent venture, Dirty Boxing, might have created tension with BKFC. Despite this, Mike Perry clarified that BKFC president David Feldman had wished him success in the new promotion. Mike Perry said, quote, "Feldman wished me luck and said, I hope it goes well. I don't think they feel threatened by us. They're top tier in bare knuckle, but I think they're struggling to find the right opponent for me, but I'm pissed, and he wants it now." Conor McGregor became part owner of BKFC in 2023, added fuel to the fire by making public statements about Mike Perry's departure. In a social media post, Conor McGregor claims Mike Perry was released following his boxing loss to Jake Paul in July 2024. However, Mike Perry disputed Conor McGregor's authority over his contract, saying, "We're both part owners of BKFC. Conor McGregor can't fire Mike Perry." As for now, Mike Perry remains officially signed with BKFC, though his lack of scheduled bouts and public feud with Conor McGregor have left fans and analysts wondering about his next move. Whether this drama is a genuine conflict or a promotional ploy, one thing is certain: Mike Perry's future in BKFC remains uncertain, and both fans and the fighter himself are eager for answers. So, guys, that's the article. This is the last article update that we're doing regarding Mike Perry's update. And we see that we're trying to see when Mike Perry will return to BKFC. That remains to be seen. So I'll be giving you guys more updates regarding Mike Perry and what is going on with him. So hope to see. I'm definitely going to be giving updates about that in the next video. And so I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day.